Hey, fellow YouTubers, JJ the Trucker coming to you from northern Indiana. Cornfields everywhere. No corn stalks. Look at that field right over there. Yeah, on that side right over there. There's no corn yet. It's just not the season. It's still cold out here. And hold on, change lanes past this Crete truck here. Yeah, it's still a bit cold, not quite the right season, but man, normally driving along this highway, US 31, north of Indianapolis, it is just corn fields and corn stalks as far as the eye can see. But not right now. But it is starting to warm up a little bit. We're at a nice balmy 38 degrees right now. Yeah, almost time to put on some shorts compared to what I've been dealing with. What we've all been dealing with, well, most of us. Oh man, but no, I'm sure it'll get colder again. But not where I'm heading. I'm actually heading to Georgia. Yeah, but I'm gonna get into where I'm heading, what's going on with my current load. I'm definitely gonna get into the continuation of the cursed load that I thought I got rid of, but apparently didn't. I definitely got some news and some info for you on that one. But before I do that, I want to address a couple of questions. I know I haven't been doing question of the week for a while, but I definitely have a question of the week, and I'm going to go ahead and start it off with that question. Almost started off. I'm gonna give you one more little question here, not quite question of the week material, but Geo and a couple of others has said it's really tripping them out with this director's view. Now, I've gotten a lot of great comments on this director's view, which the director's view has, me right here, and you guys still get to see the road, which is awesome. But they're saying it's tripping them out because it looks like I'm in England or in the UK or in Australia. I'm on the wrong side of the vehicle. And yeah, let's see, we're going uphill. Am I going to pass this Nissan or no? No, let me get behind him. I'm past the Crete truck. This Pete does haul pretty well up hills, I will say that. It's a pretty steep hill right here, and we're maintaining okay. Anyways, yeah, so in regards to the camera, this phone does have options to flip that around when you're in regular video mode or in selfie picture taking mode. But for some reason, in the director's view only, can't flip that around. You just can't do it. It's like a mirror image instead of, flipping it around like it should be. All right, let me get around this Nissan now. Oh, we're coming up to a traffic light even. Oh, looky there. Haven't seen any traffic lights in forever. There we have it. Alright, let me get it slowed down here real quick for this traffic light. Always got to pay extra attention at interchanges. You never know what's going to go on. And at truck stops, apparently. Man, this morning I wake up, look out the window, and there's a police car in front of the truck that's in front of me, facing me, the other side of the truck stop. This guy's entire grill, front end, the bumper, everything ripped completely clean off. I'm like, what in the world happened? I'm thinking maybe somebody pulled out of the parking spot next to him or something and just didn't clear it before starting to turn. I mean, it was a pretty tight, terribly designed truck stop. It was one of those where it's, U-shaped. You pull in, and you got parking on your left, parking on your right, and there's no exit straight out. There's just more parking. So if the parking is full, then we got this guy here. If the parking's full, you gotta turn around or back up to get out of there, which is a terrible design, and it wasn't even that wide. So I'm like, man, what in the world happened here? Well, I got Nagatha keeping an eye on everything for me 24/7. Come on, guy, you gonna pick up speed? Gas pedal, it's the one on the right. There he is. Come on. Alright, so yeah, Agatha's camera is great for moments like that. Not so great for regular video filming like what I'm doing right now. Not high quality, it bounces a lot, it doesn't have stabilization, all that stuff. So I take a look at her and see what happened. Well, apparently this truck was coming into the truck stop, trying to find a place to park. The place is, spots are full, so instead of backing out, he tried to turn around. Well, his it was right in front of me too. His tandems were slid all the way up to the front, so I guess he figured it wouldn't take him as much space to turn around. So he's turning around. He's getting really close to me. His front end is. He barely misses me, but as he's turning around, his back end is swinging out beyond his wheels, and his back end, the back end of the trailer, just ripped off the whole front of that other guy's truck. Ripped it clean off, got it on video and everything. Man, I wish I could show it, but you have to really squint to see it. You can barely even see what's going on because it's dark out still. There wasn't a lot of lighting in this place either. This is in southern Michigan, at a Pilot too, along 294. So it's just not a great place. I probably won't park there again just because of that setup. I got lucky because I got there a little early and found an easy to park spot. Come on, buddy, stay in your lane. There you go. There you go. So yeah, anyways, I showed the police officer, and he's like, well, fortunately, the guy, saw what happened. He realized what happened. He pulled over. He contacted the driver, and, so there was no need for my video or anything like that. So the guy did the right thing, and self-reported and all that stuff. So yay, thanks to him. That is awesome. That's being awesome, an awesome citizen. But anyways, yeah, gotta pay attention to what you're doing in all those situations. So anyways, back to the question of the week. I know I got a little sidetracked there. Squirrel. Question of the week comes from Jim Goad, and he was wondering, it's been a while since I've done my fuel mileage and mileage information and everything, and it has been a while since I've done that. I haven't really been paying close attention to it anymore because, to be honest with you, it's not that big of a deal to me. I'm making enough to cover the fuel cost. I know the Peterbilts have lower fuel mileage than the Freightliners do, and it really depends on the load you're carrying and where you're going. Like right now, my fuel mileage is pretty high because I'm lightweight right now. I've only got 22K in the box, which is really light. I can carry a max of 46K in the box, so I'm light. And I'm going through Michigan, Indiana, Tennessee, and Georgia, which is mostly flat-ish. Even the area of Tennessee that I'm going to be going through is going to be fairly flat. So, so my fuel mileage is going to be great here. But let's face it, I've been, winter, more fuel right there. All the mountains that I've been going through in Wyoming and the Pacific Northwest, that's just all mountains up there. Uphill, downhill, left, right, up, down, left, right, up, down, left, right. Not necessarily in that order. Oh man, the fuel mileage has just been low. It still hasn't been that bad. I've been a couple notches below average. Prime does send me a weekly update on fuel mileage, compares it to the fleet average, which is mostly Freightliners. And I haven't been too bad, but I've been in the high sevens, pretty much. So high sevens is where I've been. I'm averaging right now this year for the weeks that I have been running. I'm averaging about 2,500 miles a week right now, which is a little high for me, but I've been running. I've been busy. It's been good. Yes, fuel prices are up. Jim mentions that, and he's wondering how it's affected. That's basically the gist of the question is, with the fuel mileage and everything, how is the higher fuel prices affecting his drivers? So yeah, fuel prices are higher. We know that. We're anticipating that. it is what it is. Those oil companies, they anticipate increases, but don't anticipate decreases. So they looking at what's going on. They're like, oh, there's changes coming, and so that's going to affect, our production and our profits. So we're going to have to increase our prices because of this and because of that and all that. Or there's a refinery that had to go down because of an emergency, blah, blah, blah. So we have to raise the prices, and it hasn't affected us yet, but it's going to. We're raising the prices now. But yeah, when the refinery comes back online or changes go their way, they're like, well, we're not going to drop the prices quite yet. We're gonna, the problem's still going on. It's still affecting us. Because we're, everything's like a week to 2 weeks behind. So they keep the prices, high and inflated those 2 weeks. So they're, it's more profit, more money for them. That is what it is. Whatever. We all know that. We've all lived with this for forever, since 9/11. Let's face it. Well, forget that. Now since Iraq, since the first Iraq War, that's when prices started really shooting up there. So we know it. Whatever. It is what it is. So prices are a little bit higher. They're not ridiculously higher though. They're still manageable. They're still reasonable. And here's the bottom line. Rates have gone up as well. So Prime has recognized that fuel prices have gone up. Our discounts for the fuel have gone up as well, which is good. Rates have increased. The fuel supplements that we get back have increased. So bottom line, I'm still making really good money. In fact, I'm making more so far average this year than I was averaging last year, and that includes the 2 weeks off that I took. Okay, the 1 week that I was stuck in Dallas for them breaking my truck, and the week that I took off, the really, really cold week in Springfield that I took off, that was 6 days. But yeah, I'm still averaging more. I mean, it's been good. So the rate's been really good. I'm happy. I'm very comfortable with in about 3 more weeks. About 3 more weeks. I'm taking a few more days off. Gonna go see my sister. Gonna get Bev worked on here. Get some of those things fixed that need to be fixed, like the transmission, cruise control, all the stuff that Dallas broke. So, anyways, so it's been good. So, good question, Jim. Thank you for that, and I'm glad I was able to share that with all of you guys. If anything changes, otherwise, I'll keep you guys up to date. Let's see. I'm getting thirsty here. Weather's dry. There we go. All right. Let's talk about the loads. The cursed load. So if you watched the last video, you saw I got rid of the cursed load, right? That's the load I picked up from the Pacific Northwest. Supposed to go to St. Louis. 2 road closures due to weather. Terrible. Man, never experienced that. I've experienced some small road closures, but they end up opening up pretty quick. I've never had a load delayed because of that. Finally, though, 2 road closures delaying the load. So we repowered over to a team that was going to be able to get it to the place pretty much on time. And the load that I was getting was going up to Grand Rapids, Michigan, and they said, oh, and it's not due until the 3rd. Of course, this is the 1st when we're doing this. Like, okay, no problem. I could have continued driving the rest of the day on the 1st and pulled a full day on the 2nd and gotten it there on the 2nd. I'm like, it's not due until the 3rd. I hate running off of recap hours because I don't get good loads, so I'm going to back it off a little bit, not run as long on either day. I'll get it there on the 3rd. Midday on the 3rd, it'll work out, right? So I get there 1 p.m. I check in. They're like, oh, we're really glad you're here. Your appointment was scheduled for the 1st, Monday. I'm like, no, it's scheduled for today. They're like, no, It was scheduled for the 1st. Prime did call us and let us know that you weren't going to be here till the 3rd. And don't worry, we're gonna work in. But yeah, our appointments, they couldn't reschedule because our appointments were like a week and a half out. So I'm like, all right, well, any kind of idea on when you're going to be able to work me in? Like, well, yeah, I mean, we don't really know for sure, but yeah, I'd say, give it a couple hours, maybe 3, and we'll work in. All right. That didn't happen. I called. Oh yeah, we're still working on it. It's going to be we're really busy. It's a big load. We're trying to make room in the warehouse. Okay, now this is a pretty good sized grocery chain that I was delivering to. It was a pretty good sized warehouse too. So a little surprised about that, but all right, it is what it is. So then a few hours more pass. I'm like, man, what the heck? Now it's evening. Call again. Yeah, we're still working on it. We got to make sure we got the staffing. We're just really busy, and this is going to be a long unload because nothing's on pallets. It's all hand stacked, so it's got to be unloaded by hand, box by box. I'm like, you're kidding me. I know that's what Sam's Club does and stuff like that. If I'm delivering to a store, Sam's Clubs and Walmarts, they'll do that. But those are usually dropping hooks. Drop by hook, they do it on their own time. Great, all right, so waiting a little bit longer. I'm waiting, and I finally call, now it's, late night. I call again. Like, hey, yeah, we're just really busy, but it's still gonna be a little bit, but not too much longer. Not too much longer. All right, I'm back with you. The phone overheated again. Alright, so it's in the sun a little bit this time, and I did have a case on it, but still, that concerns me. My old phone never did that. Could be the director's view because it's using 2 cameras. I know the cameras make it, that heats it up. Anyways, back to where I was. So yeah, I'm sitting there waiting and waiting and waiting. Finally, after 10 hours, yes, 10 hours. Oh, we got some activity up here. They finally call me to a door. 10 hours waiting. Man, now, had they been upfront with me and told me that it was going to be 10 hours, I would have taken a nap. Okay, because now it's, it's early morning. It's already the following day, right? Well, it's like midnight, or something, 1 o'clock, something like that. 11:30, 12. Anyways, it was late, right? I would have taken a nap, I would have slept, I would have done something, but they kept, pushing me along. Oh yeah, it's gonna be soon, yeah. Right. Anyways, so then I'm like, all right, well, they've already warned me that it's gonna take about 3 to 4 hours to unload this because they gotta unload it by hand, right? And I'm like, okay, at least it's gonna be people in the trailer, not this forklift, coming in and out. When there's a forklift going in and out, it's like 2 rhinos in the back fighting each other or doing something else, some kind of fight, wrestling, if you know what I mean. That's what it's like if there's forklifts going in and it's jostling the truck all over the place and everything. You can't really sleep when that's happening. But I'm like, okay, so at least I'll get a nap in while they're doing that, while they're unloading by hand, whatever. No, so they're unloading it by hand, but apparently they're unloading it with an electric cart, which means they're pulling the cart in. It's heavy. They're putting a few pieces on it and then driving the cart out. So instead of it being quick and easy and everything, no, this thing's in and out, in and out, in and out constantly, and it's just, there's no getting any sleep. I could not get any sleep at all. I was up for 24 straight hours. Fortunately, they had parking on site. Extremely tight parking, like inches between the trucks. But they had parking on site, so that was helpful. But I did not get parked and done and checked out until 5 a.m. Okay, got there at 1 p.m., didn't get out of there until 5 a.m. Absolutely ridiculous. I was not happy about that. And when I opened up the trailer doors, everything was, it's all the same product, all in boxes, all shrink wrapped together and on slip sheets. If you don't know what those are, slip sheets, they're instead of being on pallets, they're on these thin, really, really thin plastic sheets. They're stiff, kind of stiff plastic, and it's designed to be used with a slip skid, which is kind of like a forklift, pallet jack type deal, but with really thin and wide blades. And the whole idea is these blades slip under the plastic, like in between the plastic and the floor of the trailer, slide under the whole thing, pick up the entire pallet, and bring it out, and then they set it on a pallet, and it's got this wall thing that pushes the whole, shrunk wrap pallet load onto a pallet. It works really, really well. I've used one many, many times. I used to work at Home Depot in the receiving department, like decades ago, like 25 years ago. So this isn't new technology, people. And this is a grocery chain. They should absolutely have one of these things. It should have been unloaded, boom, 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 piece of cake. But no, they didn't have a slip skid. I actually spoke to the person who unloaded it. They're like, no, it'd be nice, but and it was one person unloading it the whole time. One person. That's why it took so long. He says, but it's nice for me, we get these loads all the time. It's nice for me because I do 2 trucks a day. I did your truck, now I'm going to take my lunch, do another truck, and I go home. He says, but that slip skid would definitely save my back. I'm like, no kidding. It would save the company so much money, too. I don't get it. I don't get why they wouldn't do that. I don't know. Reasons, I'm sure. I'm sure those things are expensive, but still, Anyway, so yeah, that took forever. It was frustrating. I don't get it. Oh, and the worst part is, since I was technically late and this was not scheduled, no detention. Nope, the receiver will only pay detention if it's scheduled and we're on time. So yeah, no detention. Not happy about that. And specifically, and it wasn't my dispatcher that gave me that repower. It was one of the other dispatchers. Yeah, next time I speak to him, I'm going to let him know, hey, some communication would have been nice. I could have pre-planned a little bit better had I known that. Had I been aware of that, I could have pre-planned a little bit better, not have to be up for 24 straight hours. I would have planned getting there a little bit different time. I would have called them in advance, see when the best time would be for me to arrive. But here I am thinking that I'm going to get there on time and I'm going to get unloaded quickly. That was not the case. So yeah. And since now been up for 24 hours, it's 5 a.m. Now I got to sleep during the day. Good luck getting the load the next day. But here's the good news. I'm positive that the curse is lifted now that load is delivered. Because I did get another load. It was a drop and hook pickup at 9 p.m. that night, which was last night. And I called and I called ahead of time. Hey, is it ready? What's going on? Do I need a prequel? So I'm getting basic information. They're like, actually, it's ready. Come on and get it. No need to prequel. Just, make sure the trailer's washed out and full of fuel, which I'd already done. So, yeah, went there, picked it up, got an early jump on it, got started, and I'm heading to Georgia, which is, warmer weather. There's no bad weather on the way. Everything's looking good. So, yeah, I'm sure that curse is lifted. I'm happy. And I just got my settlement today. It was good even without this load. So this load that I had to finish up wasn't on there because I didn't get finished until Thursday. But that's going to be now on next settlement, and it's an early start. And it was pretty good payment. So it's still going to work out. So, yeah. Overall, good things. It was frustrating, but again, that's trucking. You've heard me say it once or a billion times. That's just trucking. It happens. You deal with it. You get over it. You move on. Everything balances out and works out just fine. So, and that's exactly what's happening. Speaking of all that stuff, update on Peterbilt. I'm still trying to get them to pay those hotel costs. All the other stuff has been taken care of. All the Thermo King stuff has all been reimbursed to me. The toll issues thing was reimbursed to me. All those other things done. These Peterbilt hotel costs still kind of out in the open. But here's the good news. The guy I've been dealing with says it has been approved. It's good. It's in the process of being processed. It should be processed today through Peterbilt to TLG Peterbilt, which will then get the money to Prime, which will then get the money to me. So hopefully, fingers crossed, that'll be on the next paycheck. So anyways, that's what's going on. Overall, good things. Despite all the bad things, it's overall looking up. So for anybody thinking about doing this, just keep, just know this kind of stuff. Stuff happens, it balances out. Got to keep your chin up, got to keep moving forward, got to keep the wheels rolling. If the wheels ain't turning, you ain't earning. And that's it, everybody. All right, bye, guys. See you in the next video. See you on the dark side of the moon. Bye-bye. Hey, look, I'm on the correct side of the truck now. I'm driving correctly. Anyways, real quick, I end my videos sometimes with "See on the dark side of the moon." Quick trivia for you guys. Dark Side of the Moon was released 2.5 weeks after the day I was born. So yes, I'm a Dark Side of the Moon baby. Latest. Thank you for watching this feature presentation from me, JJ the Trucker. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give me a thumbs up or two. I'd appreciate it. That way I know which videos you guys are enjoying. And you know what to do now. That's right. You see it right there. Click on my face. Click on my face. See what happens when you click on my face. You know you wanna. Other than that, check out some of my other videos for more great content, such as the one YouTube's recommending, the one I'm recommending, or for more free JJ the Trucker merch, check out the other video. Later.